Let's talk more about what is happening in Missouri and its fallout in Washington with our chief White House correspondent, John Gizzi, who joins us from Newsmax Washington this morning. John, you are a maven of all things political. I was just explaining how the governor is of one party in Missouri and the lieutenant governor is of the other party, but the criticisms there are not solely based on partisan considerations, are they?
No, they're certainly not. And Lieutenant Governor Peter Kinder, someone I've known, by the way, for 35 years, and I can say that he is by no means someone who puts his hand or his head in the fire, must know what he's talking about to proceed. As a Republican lieutenant governor to a Democratic governor, Mr. Kinder is someone who's very careful in his comments on the number one man in the show me state. In this case, however, when it comes to the National Guard, and not only that, but to what the White House was saying to the governor's mansion in Jefferson City, Kinder doesn't pull any punches. I might add that there are other Republicans, certainly not the lieutenant governor, who are talking about an investigation that could lead to an impeachment of Governor Nixon. One postscript on this. Last week, the Speaker of the House, Tim Jones, got a call from the governor, and all legislative leaders were told they were going into special session. And he said he fully expected there'd be a move for his impeachment in that session. And then all of a sudden, there's no special session. It's very unusual in Missouri, and the fallout from Ferguson will go on for a very long time.
So we'll keep our eyes on Jefferson City, the capital of the show me state. Let's move back to our national capital, from whence you join us. Governor Nixon, not the only person getting criticism for the way things went down in Ferguson and the response. Let's take a listen to what Karl Rove, the former senior advisor to President George W. Bush, had to say about President Obama getting involved.
Certainly, the president sort of committed himself to this track, not at the beginning of the Ferguson episode, but when he spoke out on Trayvon Martin and when he spoke out on Lewis Gates and the episode in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Having involved himself in those, it would look sort of odd for him not to have made a comment on this one.
Do you agree with that? And I guess what? There's an interview tonight that we can see in full on BET Black Entertainment Television, where it seems the topic will be specifically racial relations.
Exactly. And in fairness to President Obama, JD, he did tell the interviewer that talk to your parents and your grandparents, and they'll say no matter what is happening today, it's a lot better off than it has been 50 years ago. And he acknowledged that progress has certainly been made in race relations, his own election being a classic example of that. It'll be very interesting to watch the full interview.
We've got about 3.5 minutes left, John, and I want to turn to a topic where you are breaking news this morning, because despite that wonderful fedora, you always have your ears open to what is transpiring on Capitol Hill. What is the deal on the budget? Is, in fact, there a deal between the Republican leadership on the Hill in the House and President Obama and his team at the White House?
All right. Last Wednesday, I had a long interview with Congressman Luke Messer of Indiana, who in his second term has been elected chairman of the Policy Committee and is therefore in the Republican leadership of the House. Congressman Messer said that Republicans, while not making a deal per se with the White House, are likely to cut back as much as possible using their constitutional power of the purse on the funding for the Department of Homeland Security. Now, he quickly added that talk of defunding was exaggerated, and in the congressman's words, no one wants another government shutdown. So the idea is, will there be a measure that funds a slimmed down Department of Homeland Security, and then will the president sign it? I think of the words of Senator George Aiken of Vermont during the Vietnam War, declare a victory and get out. Both sides can say that.
And the Republicans will be content to do a funding bill clear on through September. We only have a minute left.
Yes.
Well, it seems to me they're going to have to do a lot of explaining and rationalizing to conservative members of that caucus. John Gizzi, we know you'll continue to monitor the situation. Let us know what is transpiring on the Hill, because I know from past experience you're a guy who can get to the heart of the story. How interesting it is, this turnabout. Wasn't so long ago when you would come to interview me, and now we've changed that around.
Oh, it certainly is. And look, you're interviewing me. Time passes.
That's right, and changes come, and you keep your eyes peeled for any other changes to report in this ongoing negotiation, this delicate dance between Capitol Hill and 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. John Gizzi, Newsmax man in
Pirouette.
Washington, D.C., thanks very much for your time. And America's Forum will continue following this Newsmax Now update.